Hey everyone, John from ARTV signing on for another episode of Ranked, my series where I rank either a band or an artist albums or else singles from worst to best. Keep in mind this is all, of course, as with any list, just my opinion. Everything out there is going to be opinion based, so don't take it too seriously. This is just my personal ranking. Be sure to let me know your rankings of System of a Down's records in the comment section down below. Now, obviously, I am very excited to be talking to you guys about this because I haven't really done System of a Down dedicated videos to date. They've kind of been an inactive band for a while. Obviously, they did get back together. They've been playing shows for a while. They've been supposedly working on an album, but according to Serge and Shavo, things are going a little bit slowly. But it's happening here and there, and I am looking forward to that new project at some point. Who knows where it'll factor into this list, but up to date, they have released 5 studio albums. This is my personal ranking of those. If you missed my top 10 System of a Down songs, I highly recommend watching that. It'll be linked in a card here on screen somewhere, or else you can click the annotation at the end of this video. Other than that, let's get into the ranked list. Be sure to leave a like on the video to let me know that you enjoyed it, want to see more content like this, and here we go. Don't get the wrong idea here. In my honest opinion, System have yet to release a bad album. Steal This album just feels like the weakest link. I mean, it came quickly after Toxicity and was rushed for release after the majority of the completed tracks, titled Toxicity 2, were leaked online. That explains the odd title for this one, and even though the members of System really seem to love it, in fact Serge claims it's his favorite to date, it's always been a bit tougher for me to get into. Of course, there's some incredible political anthems such as the System and my personal favorite, New Guns, but some of the leftovers from the Toxicity sessions drag on a bit, even though this album is only 43 minutes long.
The spiders all in tune, the evening of the moon, dreams are made winding through my head.
When System originally appeared as a blip on the map, they were known as Soil, but it wasn't until their self-titled eclectic debut came out that people really started to pay attention. 1998. Wow, that was a long time ago. From the fast riffs to the more insightful, slow commentary-filled moments from Takian, the metal band proved that they were the opposite of ordinary and would do whatever they needed to do in order to make their point of view heard. I'll admit, it looks bad seeing this so close to the bottom of my list, but with only 5 studio albums in existence, and the quality of all of them either being good or else great, it had to land somewhere. The Insane Sugar and Haunting Spiders proved that they had the power to reach the mainstream, as those cuts propelled them to massive acclaim that stands tall to this day.
Why don't you ask the kids at Tiananmen Square? Was fashion the reason why they were there? They disguise it, hypnotize it.
2 albums recorded at the same time and released in the same year. That's not something you see very often now, is it? For some, it would be a commercial disaster, but for System of a Down, it was arguably their biggest success yet. As a counterpart or a part 2 to Mesmerize, Hypnotize released in late November of 2005 to huge commercial success, riding off of the high charting songs from both albums. I was completely enamored with both records that year, and really still am to this day. System were the first hard rock or else metal band that I ever loved, and I owe so much to them for opening my eyes to heavier and more political music. Of course, now that I understand the lyrics a little bit more now that I'm older, Hypnotize was a sequel that truly didn't let off the gas, continuing to drive forward with the mysterious dreaming and rampaging stealing society leading the way. As with any album from System, the lyrics are quite off the wall, all over the place, and at times very hard to comprehend. This was no exception, and is sadly the last album we've had from them since 2005, leaving a void in the music scene that's been impossible to replace. There's only one System of a Down. They made their mark and will hopefully return with a brand new album sometime in the coming year or two.
Why can't you see that you are?
There's something I can say about System of a Down that I cannot say for most bands. Their sound really hasn't changed that much over the years. They've had more intimate moments interplayed with rage and chaos from the very first record to their last, and producer Rick Rubin has been attached to every single project. Toxicity ramped up the anger aspect, channeling it in the form of protest against the destruction of our planet, the judicial system in America, and the tragedies of the past and present that continue to chip away at our democracy. This album is immensely intelligent, capable of relaying messages over smashing drum fury and relentless guitar, channeling their mentality through the chaos of the storm. It pained me to leave some of the tracks from this record off of my top 10 because everything from the noisy Deer Dance to the classic Chop Suey deserve your attention. Some feel this is their best album, but then again, we're all quite different whenever it comes to ranking their albums, and really any bands. After all, music is all just opinion-based and subjective. There's no definitive ranking of any band's discography or anything that is right. It's all a matter of opinion, and this is mine.
Everybody live it now. Everybody die. It's a non-stop disco, make cheese, the biscuit, make you didn't know. Non-stop disco, make cheese, the biscuit, make you didn't know. Non-stop disco, make you didn't know, make you didn't know. Non-stop disco, make you didn't know, make you didn't know, make you didn't know.
As a really big fan of the band, I'm almost ashamed of myself for taking so long to make any dedicated videos on System, but here I am at the top of this ranked list about to tell you about one of my favorite albums of all time. Masterful at their craft, poetic with their lyrics, and smart about their chemistry as a band, System created the perfect storm on 2005's Mesmerize. I love everything from the suspenseful Soldier Side intro to the celebrity jeers and sarcastic remarks on old school Hollywood and even Lost in Hollywood. Even the album art, drawn by the father of band member Darren Malakian, is alluring. It makes me pick up the CD and just stare at it, sometimes wondering what went into the mind of its creator. The closing tracks I referenced a minute ago are important as they do mark a nice change in sound at the end of this record, adding in some light synths and slower pacing on the closer especially to really bridge the gap between this release and follow-up album Hypnotize. I have vivid memories of listening to the huge hit and what is still my favorite System song, BYOB, aka Bring Your Own Bombs. It was one of 7 songs I ever had on my first ever mix CD, and I looped it over and over and over again on my CD player in the back seat while my parents sat up front clueless of the music that I was listening to. I watched the video for both BYOB and Question every time I saw them on Fuse, and ended up buying both of their albums in early 2006 out of morbid curiosity, itching to know more about this hard-hitting band. I'm so glad that I did, otherwise who knows when I would have ever gotten around to discovering these, especially the masterpiece that is Mesmerize. Thanks so much for supporting my series Rank. Be sure to leave a like on the video. If you're able to, support me on Patreon. It's that annotation over there in the corner, or else you can click the top link in the description. It helps videos like this keep coming because they are a lot of time and effort, but it is worth it for you guys. Thank you to everybody who has supported so far. If you want to see another System of a Down video, click here for my top 10, or another recent video that I put out on the channel, click right here. Socials in the description, and other than that, I'll see you very soon on ARTV.